This movie proves that women are not good people. You know what I'm saying? What's good, everybody? It's your boy Peace, and I want to talk about one of my absolute favorite movies of all time. This easily top 5 movies for me. I could watch this shit once a month and never get tired of it. And that's Gone Girl. From the story, the characters, the acting, everything about this movie is incredible. From the smallest details to the biggest details, this movie is an actual masterpiece. If I rated it, I'd give it a 10 out of 10, 5 out of 5. This movie, like I said, top 5 movie for me of all time. The atmosphere of the movie, the way it's shot, the cinematography. I don't know any of that shit, but the way it has like still frames and wide, I don't know. The movie is just incredible. The movie is actually pretty beautiful if you think about it with the filters and coloring. The movie is perfect. It's flawless. I mean, even Tyler Perry's in the movie, and he's funny. He's not even trying to be funny, and he's just funny. I love Tyler Perry. So I think the movie was based on a book. I don't know, I don't read, I talk to women. But basically the story is like this. It's a little confusing. So Nick and Amy are the main characters. They're a married couple and they moved back to Missouri because Nick's mom got hella sick. She had cancer and she died. Now they was living in New York, and Amy was a decorated scholar. She wrote children's books that became successful, and Nick was he wrote articles for men in men magazines. So what the movie does and what it does well, it shows contrast and it compares when they first met to when they were dating. They were in love with each other, and the characters did an amazing job making it seem like they love each other, and you really feel for them. Then it goes to the present where they absolutely hate each other. They despise each other. Nick's cheating on her, which it's okay, I'll give him a pass, man should be able to cheat. He actually grabs her and throws her against the stairs and she hits her back. And after that, she becomes fearful of Nick, and she's writing in her journal saying she thinks he's gonna kill her, and we'll get to that later. So the recession hits and they both lose their jobs, and she has to give some of her her foundation money. She gives it away to her parents, and they're both broke. So on top of money troubles, they're already starting to hate each other, and it's just like something building up to where there's an explosion gonna happen. So she goes so far to fake her own death, her own kidnapping, and she does it in such a way where it looks like Nick did it, and they're in Missouri, so he could get the death penalty. So she fakes her own death, kidnapping, and disappears, and basically Nick is the prime suspect. I mean, this bitch even uses his credit card to buy a bunch of shit and hides it, so that way when the cops look and they investigate, they see that he's in debt, and it's almost like, oh, you raised her life insurance policy so that way you can get hella more money, but it was actually her idea. So this crazy bitch actually staged the perfect crime to pin it all on her husband. And I don't know, bro, the story, this movie is incredible. I watched it last night. I could watch it again tonight. I might do it again. I don't know. This movie, I cannot stop glazing this movie. If this movie had a dick, I'd be the best dick. So basically, this movie proves that women are not good people. So what she does is she basically disappears, and she takes the little bit of money that she has left and she cashes it out. So she goes and stays at like this lodge, and she meets this couple, and they actually rob her for all her money. And while she's at the lodge, she's checking online and seeing like what's going on with her case. And after they take her money, she lives in her car and she's sleeping, and she calls up an old boyfriend who was stalking her back in the day, tried to commit suicide because she broke up with him. She calls him and he picks her up. So now, while all of America is looking for her, she's at this vacation house with him, and he's pampering her, saying, I'm never gonna let you go. He's still in love with her after all these years. And while she's with him, she's watching the news about Nick. She still wants Nick. She still wants to go home, but she can't right now. So what this absolute batshit insane crazy bitch does, she ties her hands up, and she goes like this with like rope to make it seem like she was held captive. She puts a box cutter under some pillows, and while he's hitting her with some weak ass missionary shots, she slices his throat and he dies. And while all this is going on, Nick is trying to tell people, I did not kill my wife. I am innocent. The whole town is against him. The news is against him. Women are against him, which they have no right to be. And then come to find out again, he's cheating on Amy with this girl that he was teaching in his class. You know, like, God forbid a man has friends. So poor Nick, he's being investigated by the cops, even the FBI. He has Tyler Perry as his lawyer, and they're trying to come up with a defense. And Amy is one step ahead of Nick and the cops. She goes around places leaving clues with envelopes and it's poems because it's their anniversary. And she likes to do like treasure hunts. So what she does is, after she slices dude's throat with the box cutter, she's covered in blood. She drives home like a few days before Nick has to go to trial, and everyone's happy. Amy's found. The news is covering it. The news had been covering it from the very beginning because she was a prestigious author. You know, she was kind of famous. So this dastardly bitch tells Nick, I killed for you. She basically confesses that like all this was bullshit. So what she does is when she goes to the hospital, they're interviewing her. She basically said that the ex-boyfriend kidnapped her, drugged her, raped her, had her tied up, sodomized her, like every bad thing on earth. So that's basically Gone Girl. That's the story summed up. If I spoiled it, oh well. But me explaining the movie, it doesn't do it justice. You have to watch it. The movie is like 2.5 hours long. It's a little bit of a marathon, but there are no weak scenes. Every scene progresses the story in an interesting way to where you're still engaged, to where you're not like getting bored or anything like that. The movie is just incredible. There's a scene toward the end where she tells Nick like, I'm pregnant. She shows him a piss test, and he grabs her face and he slams her head against the wall, and she has no emotion on her face. This bitch is absolutely actually insane. She's crazy. Like I said, women are not good people, and this movie proves it. And a scene that could have been left out, you see Ben Affleck's tip. You see his shaft and his tip. The way they angled it in the shower, like, bro, that was so unnecessary. We don't need to see meet Affleck. It was so unnecessary, but it was still good. So at the end of the day, Gone Girl is top 5 movies for me. One of my absolute favorite movies. I love this movie with all my heart. It's a good ass fucking movie. If you've seen it, let me know in the comments. If you haven't seen it, go watch it, get back to me. That's the end of the video. Like, comment, subscribe. It's your boy Peace, and I'm out.